Warning! Kaiju attack in the middle of the city. Warning! Emergency. Immediate attention required.
Play it on the main monitor. That's not good. That's not good at all. Alright.
I suggest we be expedient.
Alright, I got it. Play the feed in Kasara's cage.
Is that a wise course of action?
I don't care if it's wise. Look, I've been training that damn dragon for almost a year now. She ought to be ready for combat. We'll deploy her for the first wave.
I don't think having a wild dragon on the loose is a good idea.
Well, obviously I'm gonna back her up. I'm not gonna leave a wild dragon in the middle of a... Never mind. Alright.
Just make sure you don't leave her in the middle of Manhattan. Again.
Yeah, peanut gallery. I got this. I'm gonna back her up. Here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero is here. I know in this intro normally I talk about the deck that we're about to be seeing and the replay footage, but I real quick have an announcement I want to talk about. You guys saw my last video where I talked about my dad having a heart attack. Well, the good news is that my dad pulled through. He is now at home and healing, and he wanted to he wanted me to tell you guys thank you for the well wishes and the prayers and all that stuff. And I just wanted to say thank you as well. You know, most of the time when I read the comment section, it's not always the most positive place. But, you know, on that issue, it was. And I was a little overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I expected people to see it and, like, you know, maybe leave a like, but I wasn't expecting all the outpour of nice words, and it was much appreciated. Thank you to all the friends who offered an ear. I read it, I saw it, thank you. And the ones that reached out, thank you as well, if you happen to see this. It means more than you know. That being said, we're going to go ahead and transfer over to the video that you guys are actually here for. I'm going to play some replay footage, and then at the end we will talk about the deck. So let's go check out that replay footage. right, there you have it, guys. That is the Blue Eyes Kaiju deck. I did this. Never mind the wardrobe change. It got a little cold in here. Anyway, I wanted to real quick express again a big thanks to all the people who left words of encouragement about my dad's situation. Just big thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. And that being said, let's talk about this deck. Now, below in the side area, I have cards that I want to address, basically, before we actually get into the deck side of things. So, you saw in probably one of the replays, I was playing Vanity's Ruler. I thought I could try some weird, like, oh yeah, tribute 2 of my monsters, and then you can't special summon kind of thing, because it was level 8, kind of synergy trade in, and it never came up, so I took it out. But, I'm kind of one of those people, I'm like, I got these harebrained schemes, hence this entire deck. But this deck is a little expensive. I'm going to have the price tag somewhere on the screen, and it's mostly because of the upswing of certain cards. Like, obviously, this is a Blue Eyes deck, and Blue Eyes is a fan favorite deck, so you're going to have to spend a little more money than you want to, unfortunately. But I decided to go ahead and include some other things in here in the sideboard. So the next thing we have is Jizukiru. The reason why I have this card brought up is because it is the cheapest Kaiju available. So if you need to cut corners, if this is something you want to build, unfortunately you need the wind one. The wind one here, Gandarla. She is basically the key point of this deck. This is how this deck doesn't get locked out by barrier statue decks. The wind barrier statue that all the Tri-Brigade decks and their variants are playing. So you're going to need this one. But the other Kaijus are all debatable. You can literally play whatever Kaijus you have or whatever you can afford. I just want to include a mention of him because he currently, Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, is the cheapest. Now the reason why, for my build, I was playing the Lightning Strike Kaiju. That one was because of its level. It's level 9, so I could go into the Tree Beast, but you don't have. But there are alternate ways to do that. But you don't have to do that. Later on in testing, I discovered that having different names was better, just as long as they were all stronger than the Wind one. I digress. Point being is there's that, and then of course the extra deck's a little expensive. Like this one that you're seeing on the screen is based off of mine and my personal collection. But if you are buying outright, I wanted to include some other cards. So for example, I have Felgran, the Divine Dragon Knight. I don't have this guy, but I was checking on TCG Player, and this guy really isn't much more expensive than Felgran. So if you are thinking about building this deck and you wanted it to be a little bit better than my version, I suggest you buy the Photon Lord here, because he's going to have more synergy, obviously, with the rest of them. And, of course, you can cut corners with various other things. Like, a lot of these cards are in the dollar range or cheaper in these extra decks. So, you've got, like, Dingirsu, it's like $4. Cypher Blade, I think I saw for, like, $2, $3, something like that. If you buy the cheapest version, I saw this card for, like, 50 cents, which Prime Dragon here is a lot cheaper than Tachyon for some reason. I think it's because Tachyon is a number. I think it's the big thing. Oh, well, they're both numbers, so I don't know. Well, this one has a common printing, so that probably helps. And then, of course, we have Blatnir and Gustav Max. These are cards you actually can go into because you will need to play Cloud Castle. Why don't I go ahead and show you some of the cards you can take out? You obviously can take out Moonrose because, truth be told, she's only in here for the off chance that I could go into Crystal Wing. And since Crystal Wing's a little on the pricey side, you can literally take Crystal Wing out completely. It's not necessary. Replace this guy with this card. Voila, you've got yourself a much more synergistic card. You can also take this card out, put this card in there, and boom, there's your whole Galaxy package is at full power. You still have like 2 cards worth of room, and truth be told, you're only really using the Spirit Dragon and Azure Eyes to defend your dragons or to make Exceeds plays. That's why we have them in here. Cloud Castle serves that same purpose. In my original version, it was really just to bring back this Lightning Strike Kaiju, but you also could use it to bring back any of the other level 9s that you play, and still go into your whatever rank 9 you choose to play. I went with the Tree Beast because it's a negate, but if you want to snipe a hand or non-target banish a card on the field, you could easily go for Blathnir here as a replacement for that. And then if you want to just stick Gustav Max because Leo and Twin Burst are level 10, and your Jizukiru is a level 10 monster as well. So if you're playing triple of that, it might be something to think about because it's really easy to go for. You'll have to climb into this guy. You know, you'll have to make a level 9, then sync off with another one of the level 1s, so it won't happen very often. But this card coming out will happen pretty often. It's pretty easy to get out 2 blue eyes and then just contact views, and voila, then you can end the game with max. Another level 9 you could play is Vermilion Mech. It's just you know, you could look at it like, oh, okay, destroy with alternative, play one of the level 1 tuners, and then you sync off into this guy, banish one of the level 1 tuners, blow something else up. You know, you could just, you know, keep the destruction train going. And in the same vein, you can do the same thing with the Croco Dragon. I'm trying Ravenous here. I'm gonna go with Ravenous. That'll be the cheapest way to abbreviate it. You also can play regular old Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon here. Like I said, not all the cards in this deck are in the extra deck were required, and there is and I'm just letting you know this so you can cut corners where you need to for your budget. Hopefully, if you are a Blue Eyes player, you already have the Blue Eyes stuff you need, so you only thing, and probably will have the Kaiju stuff. A lot of this stuff was very cheap early on to get. This is how I have it, so look through all of your cards, figure out what you have available to you. If this is a deck that you're interested in, it does work. As you guys saw in the replay footage, you could really do some damage. And I think you could even go further into the damage with replacing certain things and playing things that are not only budget, but maybe a little more advantageous to your strategy. Like, I do think that Prime Photon is more advantageous to the strategy than Tachyon, because this guy really is just... he can get really huge, and it's not really hard to get, you know, 2 Xyz monsters in the field, especially because the way this deck really works is it minuses your opponent by relying on the board breaking cards. Geki, Dark Hole, and Slumber are all going, and the Kaijus combined are going to break the boards, and then you are going to be able to play your big monsters and just swing in for lots of damage. And of course, like Luna made it a really good +1 strategy, so it makes our discards free, pretty much. So if you do decide to play this card, it will be cheaper, because this one says you got to ditch 2 to target a card in the field and destroy it. Well, she's going to make that cheaper, and now it's a ditch 1 instead of a ditch 2. But the point being is that's just... and plus she bounces back to those Kaijus, which is another big helping hand to your strategy, because your opponent isn't likely going to be playing the same Kaijus as you. So, if they're playing Kaijus at all. I think that's all I've got for this deck. If you enjoyed this deck, make sure you drop me one of these, because if you don't, I might turn you into a Karibo. Except for all the people who said nice things about my dad. So that's so appreciated. You get the Karibo laser pass if you don't like the video. Anyway, guys, much love to you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.